Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another reaction to another SunnyV2 video, and this is the most intense arguments in Joe Rogan history, which is interesting. I don't watch the Joe Rogan Experience, is that what it's called? Um, I've seen random clips here and there. I've watched like a lot of clips whenever Bill Burr was on it, just because I want to watch some Bill Burr stuff. Um, I feel like I watched a couple with was Joe. I think it was Joey Diaz was on it a few times. I watched a couple of those. What else? I think I watched a couple other, but I never watched the podcast itself. I don't think I've ever watched an argument. So this is gonna be interesting. I like learning about things. So let's let's learn about some things. Anyway, let's go. The most intense arguments in Joe Rogan history. Link in the description if you want to watch it yourself. I'm sure you already did. If you didn't, you should do it. You can subscribe to SunnyV2 and unsubscribe from me. If you're subscribed. Subscribe right now and then unsubscribe. And then subscribe again, please. Anyway, let's go. 3, 2, 1, play.
With almost 2,000 episodes of the Joe
God
Rogan Experience,
damn.
it's no surprise that there have been a
Wait.
couple
Oh, what's his name? What? Only a... Wait, what? There's no way. How come they don't get, like, no views? That must be, like, a repost channel.
Been a couple of pretty heated arguments, and we're going to kick the video off by looking at one between Joe and a guest by the name of Candace Owens, who initiated the conflict after stating in a very smug way that humans don't need to care for the environment because climate change doesn't exist.
You don't think we have to care about the environment? Like,
Not even a little bit. Like,
not even a little bit?
no. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. Like, I'm not saying like we need to like
Who's Candace Owens?
trash the environment. Like, but do I believe in climate change? No.
Joe pushed back on this initial statement by arguing that the topic was incredibly complex and that maybe Candace wasn't in a position to make this
is gonna
claim.
be very awkward.
Things became even worse when Jamie brought up a website to support Joe's side of the argument.
Alright, can we get a Jamie counter every time Jamie is even referenced or he says Jamie?
The vast majority, 87% of scientists, said that human activity is driving global warming.
Yeah, I don't believe this like at all. Just so you know.
Which resulted in Candace implying that they were specifically searching for data to support what Joe already believed.
I guess look up the opposite, right? Instead of looking for what you're searching for, looking for what you're not looking for.
I didn't search for it. That's what I found when I searched.
Joe then doubled down on just how detrimental the climate situation could be.
This could negatively impact all sorts of coastal cities. This could be a gigantic problem.
Those
this is
headphones
not
look really
like
comfy.
propaganda that's drummed up by some sort of big business that seeks to make money off of this.
Yet Candace showed no interest in changing her belief on the topic, escalating the conflict even further.
I don't believe it's real. Okay, so I can't sit here.
But why have a belief? Why have a belief as to whether or not global warming is real or not real?
Because I just find that when things
you don't
you're
understand
correct.
the science.
You are correct.
But why have a belief in it?
Right. So it's not a belief. It's not a belief in it. I don't believe in it.
Joe was eventually able to get Candace to admit that she didn't really know what she was talking about.
How about not have a belief into
Wow.
So,
really?
okay, so you would prefer if my language,
mean,
as opposed to admitting that I do not know this, I wouldn't die in this hill, I've never made a video, I've never made a public statement. You would prefer it if I had just started by saying I have no opinion.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You say
But I said I didn't know.
No, you say I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. You're saying really clearly that you don't think it's real.
However, Eddie Bravo was significantly more stubborn.
Who?
Who found himself in an argument
Who are
with
these fucking people? I don't know. Candace Owens sounds similar. I mean, familiar. That's what I meant. Like that name. She doesn't look familiar. And that name, Eddie Bravo. What the fuck?
Refusing to let go of the idea that the Earth was flat.
Show me a real
Dude, he looks like somebody that believes the world is flat. I was waiting until we got Earth is flat guy.
Show me a real picture. Listen, NASA does not have one of those satellites.
Find it.
Why does it look fake?
It looks like something you'd see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie,
They fucking base it on that, you stupid bastard.
Why would it be fake?
It's propaganda, man.
After Eddie kicked off the argument by claiming that every
What propaganda? I don't understand. What? How could they benefit from?
picture of the Earth is fake. Joe continued the
We can't let people know it's flat. Why? I don't know.
conversation.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End when you just go off the edge and you. Shout out somebody.
By requesting to see a legitimate photo of a flat Earth.
Is there a photo of this flat Earth?
No, I don't. Like I just said again.
That's what I asked.
There's no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo.
It's really weird. I find it really annoying when someone adjusts their microphone. I think it's very annoying. Anybody else have that problem too when they adjust their microphone? All right, I was doing a bit, obviously, because I was adjusting it. You can't see it, so the bit didn't really work. But I actually do. I don't know why. Every time I see someone move it and stuff, I don't know. I don't know why it's annoying me.
Of the round Earth from
That's
space.
not true. That's not true.
It's all
No,
fake.
why do you say they're fake, though? What
They look
evidence?
fake. They look
Okay,
CGI.
But you're not an expert in imagery.
After being backed into a corner, Eddie made the argument that the sources Joe was using
I'm gonna assume CGI can make a globe look really good. So maybe you've just been seeing a lot of really good CG globes.
were being paid for to keep the conspiracy going.
Where did you get this information?
Jamie,
Where'd you get it?
Where'd I get
Jamie,
what?
that's second. I think he said one earlier.
This information, where is this coming from?
Let's say two,
come
right?
off the internet.
There might have been another.
Exactly. So
The
if you're
American
reading
Journal-
some information, I'm reading some
Internet.
information.
Slow down.
You didn't go to the library.
Slow
Oh,
down.
it's on
Eddie,
Wikipedia.
just slow down.
Eddie, stop
There's
doing that.
sources here. There's a book called The American Journal of Science. I'm sure
Oh,
that
okay,
sources
you know,
like
Which is
that.
bought and paid for.
Well, maybe.
Why would anybody be paying money for people to lie about the world?
Thank
Which was
you.
followed by Eddie stating that there was no evidence to confirm that the Earth was in fact
Why
spinning.
would you
Eddie,
lie? I don't understand. I don't understand. Why would they keep it, like, of all things to keep a secret? Why that?
Forever.
Why?
That's how the seasons work.
Gravity, baby.
That's how you see the sun. We spin around. That's why it
Okay,
makes
explain this to
eclipses.
me.
That's why you can track time zones. That's why you can put a piece of stick in the ground
You're saying all the
it
correct
acts
shit.
as it acts as a sundial.
After over 40 minutes of back
No.
and forth between
No, it's flat. Fuck you.
the two,
We live on a giant coin. Fuck you.
Joe completely lost it.
Eddie.
I used to say the same
Eddie, you're
stuff.
talking about the
I
Earth being
said this-
flat.
I'm
Thousands of
saying the
scientists
same
have
thing.
looked into it. You think they're all wrong? That's so insane.
Yes.
You haven't looked into it.
I have.
No, you have.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I go outside. I see that the horizon's like, kind of, like maybe like roundish shape. It's weird that it looks like, if you just look at it, like, if you're in the ocean, you just see it's like, wow, it's really weird how it's like it almost goes in an arc, almost like it's forming a circle. That's strange. It's really weird how that works. It must be flat. That's
Could I
why.
not have? You don't think I have? Eddie, this website's dedicated to debunking it. There's so many people working on these things, Eddie. The idea that they're all
People
in on
need to
some
go,
sort of a
Eddie,
giant global
Eddie,
lie is insane.
Eddie.
However, while this
What's wrong
argument
with you,
could
Eddie?
certainly be dismissed
Eddie.
as a bit of banter between two friends,
Maybe.
the same can't be said for the argument between Joe and Matt Walsh.
I know
They
who
began
Matt
a
Walsh
heated
is,
exchange
okay.
after claiming that gay marriage shouldn't be allowed,
People do not like Matt Walsh. I know of him. I don't know anything about him.
as
Really.
it threatens the institution of traditional marriage.
But then why are you
God, I got
opposed to
itchy
two gay
nose, I'm
people
sorry.
doing that?
It's not
I
about
just did a lot of cocaine. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I'm a good boy. But no, really, my nose is itchy.
choice. It's about what this
Goddamn.
institution, marriage
Don't
is
look
an
at me.
institution, and what is it, and what purpose does it serve?
Joe then made the point that a gay marriage
We're good.
doesn't damage a straight marriage in any way.
I don't think gay people and gay people getting married in any way, shape, or form changes a bond that you have with your wife.
To which Matt responded with the following point.
Yes, it does.
If marriage is not what I'm saying it is, why do we even need it? A thing that actually exists, which are man,
What?
woman couples creating babies.
But after Matt stated that the point of a marriage was for a man and a woman to make babies, Joe questioned the following.
If marriage is only for procreation and to bond a family together, what about people that are deeply in love that never want to have children?
I don't think it's not only procreation.
Right, but if people want to be married and don't want to ever have children, are you opposed to them being married?
I think this would be a couple that is rejecting one of the fundamental aspects of marriage. They should be open to life. I would hope that in the future they would be.
It seemed as though Joe and Matt could have argued back and forth for hours on end. But what happens when Joe
Oh, wow.
invites one of his...
That was... I was expecting that to get way more intense. That was barely intense. What the hell? All right.
haters onto the podcast. This is what happened with Brian Dunning, who had written an article claiming that Joe was one of 10 celebrities who promote harmful pseudoscience, in which he'd write, "Comedian Joe Rogan does what he can to promote virtually any conspiracy theory that he stumbles onto.
I mean, I've heard he does that a
apparently
lot, to be
accepting
fair.
them all uncritically with a wholesome embrace.
I don't know about that
He believes
part,
the
but-
Apollo astronauts did not land on the moon. He believes the US government was behind the 9/11 terrorist
Every
attacks.
time I hear him talk about that, though, again, don't watch it, but like just the little clips I see randomly, it seems like he's also like doing it in like a more of a entertaining way, more so than actually. I'm sure he does actually believe this shit, but whatever.
He believes the Oliver Stone version of the Kennedy assassination. He believes that aliens crashed at Roswell.
How does he get killed in that movie again? The what was it called again? It wasn't just called Kennedy. Was it called JFK? It was JFK, right?
in 1947, and the government is covering it up. Joe, if you're going to put so much effort into promoting conspiracy theories and eroding what little rationality the public has left, at least have the courage to come forward with a cogent argument and well-sourced evidence, instead of the lameness of "I'm just the guy asking questions." Take the responsibility. Joe would take this responsibility by inviting Dunning onto the podcast, which resulted in a 3-hour back and forth arguing about everything, beginning with conspiracy theories.
Well, it's just factually inaccurate on so many different levels. I don't understand why you wrote it like that. Like, there's things that you said that I believe that I don't. That I've never said that I do.
Before eventually concluding with diet and alcohol.
It's not correct. That's not the way the body works. That's not the way the digestion system works. When you say that there's a supplement that can prevent you from getting drunk, you're I'm sorry, you're against all reasonably established science, and you're trying to make a buck off of people potentially getting killed. And I had a huge problem with that, to the point that I had to turn the show off.
However, if we're on the topic of diet and alcohol, then we have to look at the Joe Rogan Experience number 1267, which became one of Joe's most heated episodes after 2 opposing diet specialists began to argue about nutrition.
No, Gary, you talked for a long time, and I'm going to talk for as long as I want now.
Throughout the whole episode, the 2 guests were continually mocking each other in a very subtle way.
And Joe's just like, hey, Jamie, you got that for
How do you regulate that?
I didn't say it regulated that.
Gary, hold on.
That's fascinating.
But
How does
his
the brain
muscle-
do that?
Which accompanied other segments where the guests made it very obvious that they hated each other.
Data are very clear on that, Gary. So,
No.
yes, they are. Look, we have data.
We can't say things like that, Stephen, because we're going to disagree on what the data say.
Let's move on. You think they ate mostly fish. That's incorrect, okay, according to the data.
This guy's got Linus Tech Tips vibes. I don't know why.
I remember you saying that in your book, something to that effect.
Stephen, read what you've got in my book. Read what I say.
Anyway,
just read what I say.
Let's go on.
We don't have to argue about it. Read what I say.
I'm going to move on here.
The adversity between the 2 guests became so great that Joe had to intervene on more than one occasion.
Gary, I
As he
really
probably should,
continue to get the feeling that you do not understand human energetics. Because that's not how it works.
Well, no, I'm just saying 10 calories stored in the fat tissue. That's
10
just
calories.
mathematics.
10 calories.
I didn't say anything about
Gary,
how much you have to eat.
I'm not done.
Okay, no, but you're insulting me,
Gary.
Stephen. You gotta stop doing that, dude.
Gary.
You keep acting like you think I'm an idiot.
All right, are you done now? Are you done?
Can we be clear?
The guy on
what
the
we're
left is a
talking about?
Are you
fucking
done now?
dick.
Can I just finish this?
No, you can't.
You
until
can't
I'm
ask me
done.
without. No,
Gary,
you can't.
you-
No, it's my turn, you
Fine.
beat.
You can respond.
Oh,
Write
here comes
down
the
notes
teacher.
on what you want to respond to, and after he's done, you can do
Yeah,
it.
but we're going to get
Now,
into a
look,
long
history-
discourse on
Listen.
something that's not the point.
Well, let's
No,
find
it
out if
is
it is
the
the point.
point.
We
Yeah,
don't know
it
what he's
is
going
the
to say.
point. Thank you. Okay.
But despite this, the 2 diet experts failed to agree on almost anything.
What do you disagree with?
Well, virtually everything.
As we've seen so far, Joe Rogan is pretty good at
See, this is why I just like an expert on something like this is like, not that it's useless. It's just like you get 2 of them in here and then they don't agree with anything. So like, I don't know.
keeping his cool whenever things get spicy. However, in a recent episode with Dave Portnoy, Joe struggled to keep
Can I get one person that I know? Like I actually know. I guess you probably wouldn't argue with actors and like comedians and stuff. Like, but
his cool after Dave stated that Tommy Fury wasn't a real boxer.
maybe this guy's a comedian. I have no idea.
Oh, Tommy Fury box. He is not a boxer.
Well, he's definitely a boxer.
Well, he puts on gloves.
He's definitely a boxer.
Dave went on to make the point that Tommy was only
No,
famous
no,
due to
he
his
is.
brother's name.
We would not know who Tommy Fury was if his last name wasn't Fury.
Probably we wouldn't know as much about him.
I don't.
But he's still a good-looking guy. He's built great. He looks
Well,
like
those are-
he
yeah.
looks the part.
Looks the part.
And while the conversation was somewhat amicable in the beginning, the tension escalated after Jamie pulled up a video of Tommy
Sure,
Fury's
sure.
boxing.
Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer. The guy's fighting looks good. Dude, you're crazy if you don't think Tommy Fury's a
I don't
boxer.
think-
Look at that uppercut. Watch this.
Find the
Just
Tommy
look at
Fury.
this.
Find the
Dude.
Tommy Fury fight. Can you find me the
Just
record of
watch
Bogianski's?
this. Stop. Watch this. Watch this.
Watch.
Look at this. You're
Look at
out
this
of your
shit.
mind if you don't- Look at this.
What
Look
was
at that
that?
right
That-
hand.
that was in slow motion.
No,
I
it's
think.
not in slow
I
motion.
think you
on.
slowed that down.
No, he's 100% a legitimate professional boxer. If you don't think so, you're just being a hater.
The argument between Joe and Dave felt like it was coming from a fun perspective. However,
Right,
Joe
okay.
Rogan's
A
argument
little
with
bit.
Adam Conover was significantly less
Oh,
friendly.
dude, that picture right there of them staring at each other, you could tell. You could tell it would have been an argument episode.
Which began when Adam stated that he saw nothing wrong with transgender athletes.
Sports with trans athletes who are
Why does this guy look
competing
familiar? Who is this guy? Adam, I don't know.
with with their gender, right? That is a sporting world that I'm more interested in.
Joe responded to Adam's position by making the point that it's unfair for a biological man to compete against women.
If you're a woman
I'm not even gonna share my opinion.
and you're a natural woman and you don't take any extra hormones or male hormones, you're not taking steroids or any sort of performance enhancing drugs, you're doing your very best to compete and you're at the top of the heap, but then someone comes along that was a man for 30 years and decides they're going to be a woman, and this has happened, and literally transitioned a few months ago, and competes as a woman and destroys records and dominates you in that sport. That's not competing on a level playing field. It's not fair. It's as much cheating as taking steroids when the other person doesn't.
I disagree, and
What do you disagree about?
I've already, I don't think that there is such a thing as a perfectly level playing field. I think we decide what kind of playing field we want to have.
Sure, but we do make the distinction where we don't allow men to compete in women's divisions.
And I think that distinction may be breaking down a bit, right? And I think it may be time to break down that distinction a little
So
bit.
you think that males should be able to compete in the women's division of weightlifting?
No, I don't necessarily.
But
But
they can if they transition.
they're
first
women,
of all,
Sorry.
The debate became even more heated after the two got onto the topic of transgender children.
If you're shooting hormones into a child and you're affecting the child's development, you're saying that's not a choice. That's nonsense. Of course it's a choice. You're choosing to chemically change this child's body.
Which then turned into a weird debate about the existence of alpha males.
It's not scientific, but it is true that women are
Widespread topics here.
wired to be attracted to confident, athletic men.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like the same thing with women, right?
Play,
No woman out there is attracted to this. You want to fuck? You want to do sex? No.
But
Really?
yeah.
But if you ask girls, like, what are you into? And you say, if you
They say,
are you into
GorTheMovieGod.
tall, muscular, confident men who are also nice to you? Jesus Christ, it's gonna be off the charts.
It's not me.
It's gonna be like most of
Don't
them.
fuck, bro.
I'm really not sure that's the case.
Really?
However, at least Joe was sober
Of course, it's not the case.
for the Adam Conover debate, as alcohol was one of the main drivers for Joe's heated 2017 argument with Steven Crowder,
Crowder,
which
that's the
began
name.
with Steven stating that the legalization of weed has led to an increase in motor vehicle accidents.
Traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that, because that's nonsense.
No,
you
we
know,
wrote about it
driving,
Not as many Jamies, but to be fair, there's been a lot of arguments. So.
driving arrests have dropped. What do you mean you've... First of all...
Yeah, we wrote about what the source
First
is
of
there,
all,
the original studies.
Steven then tried to convince Joe that he didn't really care about the use of weed.
I don't care about it.
Yeah, you do.
I don't care.
You're the guy that thinks people should be able to do whatever. You're a free
Yes,
market guy,
that's
right?
what I just said.
So if you're a free
Smoke
market
pot.
guy, why wouldn't you be in support of something, whether it's the most
I just
beneficial
said I am.
or equally
I just
beneficial?
said I am.
But you're not necessarily, because
I am.
you're denying.
But because right
you're
now of the
denying
chemical.
Which was followed by Joe mocking Steven for his attitude.
things that are good. And don't shore, man. Just like you don't shore turmeric, you don't shore ginger, you don't shore a reduced sugar diet. All those things that reduce inflammation are good
Yeah,
for you.
I don't buy that smoking marijuana would be as beneficial as a reduced sugar diet.
After bringing up a study to support Joe's point, the following exchange ensued.
Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado are at
But hold on
near
a second.
historic
You
lows.
haven't bringing up the source that you want to find.
Washington
Bring up the
Post.
study right there. Yeah, Washington Post. Bring up the study that we wrote. We wrote about it on our website.
Look, I don't care about your website. Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado
since you
are
called me
at
hold on a second. Since you,
Because they're not on that, otherwise they're all getting fucked up.
hold on a second. Since you called me
And after Joe sobered up the following day, he issued an apology for the way he acted during one of the most heated arguments in Joe Rogan history.
Well, you talked about weed, so of course that's gonna be pretty heated. All right, that was actually a lot more interesting. No, I was expecting it to be interesting. Never mind. Oh, there's the Crowder thing again. Okay. Anyway, finally some good food. Dead Space remake is really fucking good, guys. Oh man, it's so fucking good. Anyway, that was good. That was interesting. I to the point where I was actually listening to the arguments more so than I would pay attention to other SunnyV2 videos. Not that they're not fun to listen to or anything, but there's a lot of like, this person did something fucking stupid, so I make fun of them. I paused a lot too. So anyway, there you go. That's it. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Till next time. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.